Welcome to Inside the Force. I'm Greg Grunberg, a.k.a. Snap Wexley.
It is a period of Star Wars mania, as new movies, comic books, novels, and TV shows populate the system. Fueled by their love and passion for the galaxy far, far away, two exceptional geeks tap into hundreds of holocrons in order to bring you the knowledge and insight of all things Star Wars. Come and join them as they go inside the Force.
Welcome back to Inside the Force. Dave Cottingham here with Casey Cooley.
Hello, everybody.
And we are going to breeze through this news because we have got a major episode to talk about.
Yes.
As with, I'm sure, all the Star Wars podcasts are going to be talking about this.
Yeah.
But the season finale of season 2 of Rebels just aired the other day, and it was breathtaking.
It was explosive. It was just, intense and epic and dramatic and just something never seen before.
Not something you never seen before, exactly. So quickly, I don't know, news. It's,
Blu-ray is the biggest thing.
Blu-ray's coming out next week on the April 5th. Digital copies Friday, April 1st. Mm-hmm. We already kind of went through what different copies there are out there and stuff like that.
Looks like some pretty cool stuff coming out. They've released some clips of Daisy Ridley's audition tape for the Blu-ray, and it's phenomenal. Like her audition, like of course she would get the role based off what that was there. So I'm very excited to buy it and to watch it.
To watch it again this weekend for sure.
Many, many times.
Okay, so that's good with the news. Let's just get
let's go.
Because I'm telling you this.
Yeah,
this is an episode. I was talking about this at work today to everybody that was there that watched it or didn't watch it. I said, this is an episode that I would put ahead of some of the movies.
Oh, absolutely. No, I live tweeted the show. That was me, if you were wondering, guys.
That was you.
And no, I said a couple times, like, this is one of the best Star Wars in general, Star Wars stories ever told.
Yes. And, of course, look, a guest that has been on the show, that's a friend on the network, of course, co-hosts a lot, Chad Perkins.
Right.
Me and him don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. It's weird. We're really good friends, and we have different views of things.
Right.
And he thought I was actually crazy that I would put this ahead of most of the films.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
Did he watch any of it?
He watched it. No, he watched it. He was like, no, that first episode, I thought it was good. I was like, man, there's so much in this episode, as we'll talk about.
Yeah.
There's so much in this episode.
There's a lot of context. Like,
you
definitely have to have watched, like, a lot of the Clone Wars.
I agree.
And Rebels. Like, you have to have.
Which he has. That's the thing.
Really?
He has. He's watched every episode. But I just don't, I don't know. I think there's a level of understanding that a lot of Star Wars fans, I think, have, but some don't have. I think they just take it for what it is.
Yeah.
But they just don't dig deeper into the bigger meanings of things, I think. And this it's just so many layers of this.
It was like such a culminating episode of so many things in the past 6 years leading up to this moment.
Yes.
But it still didn't close off everything. It didn't close off every story or every characters.
Which surprised me a lot because I felt, as I'm watching this thing, it felt like a series finale. Like I just felt like this was the end.
It did, definitely, yeah.
But like you said, there were so many doors.
Yeah.
Almost every door was still left open.
Yeah, even the big thing that we will talk about.
Yes.
Of one character's fate, definitely.
So
isn't sure, I guess.
Correct. And that's what we have podcasts for, to speculate.
Hey.
But so the big, obviously, okay, so this thing called Twilight of the Apprentice, and which to me, I mean, it really kind of has several meanings because you have technically 3 apprentices that actually show up in this movie, in this episode, right? Mm-hmm. You've got Ezra, who's obviously the current apprentice. Mm-hmm. You've got Ahsoka showing up, which she left as an apprentice. And then you have the return of a character that is, I mean, he getting to the point where this guy is the most one of the most beloved villains in the Star Wars universe, even though he hasn't seen a lot of time.
Right.
So we get the return of Maul. We're still calling him just Maul now.
Maul, yeah.
No more Darth. So he's not really a Sith anymore. So, of course, I guess let's just take this from the beginning and then kind of go through it. So of course, we know from Yoda that they're told to go to Malachor. Mm-hmm. And Malachor, not being a planet that we visited yet.
We've heard of it a lot.
We have heard of it.
In the movies.
Yes.
It's been mentioned.
I
think.
No, I don't think Malachor.
I'm thinking Malastare.
Malastare.
Yeah, Malastare. Yeah.
I think maybe they said they mentioned it in the Clone Wars a couple of times.
Yeah, and there was some, and there's like on the KOTOR games, I think Malachor 5. It's like in the expanded universe, I think there's like multiple. I'm not sure, but So this has been mentioned in the show before. Yeah.
But very interesting in the first thing that you see.
I took some screenshots. The planet's bizarre.
It's very bizarre because I can't tell, is that artificial or is that actually part of the planet?
It looks like they're walking on like a marble sheet or like some kind of like stone, like smooth man-made stone in a way. Like there's no cracks or seams or anything like that. Like there's some mountains in the background there, so I can't tell if this is the entire planet or just this little Sith part, this little Sith temple part, you know.
But the temple is underground, or not
in the dark.
It's under
the twilight,
I guess. Yeah,
and all these little pillars, monolith kind of things stabbing through it. It's or like the doorways into the temple.
I guess
it's such an interesting planet.
It's so bizarre. Yeah,
and again, one of the things I kept saying on the live tweet was, several times, this is like the best designed episodes. Like the artwork and the animation and just the way it's shot and the lighting and all the production design gone into this environment is phenomenal. Like you really are, and it's just like looks like an inherently evil place. It's such a beautiful location that they created.
Yeah, I agree. So when they fall through the cracks, that is created by basically Ezra touching like that one of those pillars, right?
Right.
They kind of fall through the cracks there and land down near this temple. Now, as they're walking towards it, this is where I started freaking out right away. Is that you see the, I guess, monuments almost. They become monuments. These characters that were.
Well, were they
killed?
Are they statues? Or are they like
hardened? They're hardened,
like a Pompeii kind of thing. Like somehow
they basically been turned to ash.
Yeah, and just like they're like they become statues.
So what did you think of when you first saw that? And they started talking about it.
Well, like before they even started talking about it, it looked like because again those images of like the Pompeii, the volcano, that whole thing came into my mind. So I thought like, wow, these are like some horrible battle happened, and maybe a Sith Lord or somebody like froze everybody or whatever. Like just solidified everybody into stone in a way.
Okay, so, but do you remember, we actually researched this.
Yeah, I was thinking of this actually, but I didn't have time to go back and forth. It's a thought bomb.
The thought bomb.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought of right away. I was like,
Darth Bane that did that?
No, it was before Darth Bane.
Yeah.
Because Darth Bane survived it.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's what wiped out all the Sith.
That's right.
And it was basically the last battle between the Jedi and the Sith.
Yeah.
And then a thought bomb was done by one of the Sith Lords and wiped all these people, everybody out. And that's what I imagined was this bomb went off.
Yeah.
So just killed everybody.
So you think this is an ancient war?
Yes.
That we're seeing.
Oh, she even said thousands of years ago.
She said?
Yeah.
That was just so like intense.
That's why I was like, oh my God, this is like Old Republic stuff.
Yeah.
And this is the Sith War, Sith Jedi War. I was like, oh my God, they're canonizing. They're starting to canonize this stuff.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I thought of, is that some kind of thought bomb. If they actually, they didn't say it, obviously, they don't know. But that's exactly what I thought of.
Pretty much, that's what you would think. If you know the EU, that's kind of what it looks like. Yeah, absolutely.
Because that would make sense, again, to the point who is canon is Bane survives or wasn't there or whatever, and he's the only Sith left. So then then the rule of 2 is created. Yeah. So very cool. Anyway, so I was going crazy just off of that. So then they go further. Kanan or Ezra gets separated.
Yeah.
Now, very interesting way how they brought this character back. Yeah. Now, obviously, everybody kind of knew already who it was.
Yeah.
And as you're watching, you can kind of tell. But I don't know. What were your just initial thoughts, and how did you think about how this was going to play out with him in this episode?
I did not expect. I mean, I read a little bit about how they were going to introduce Maul back into the thing, and I heard like Sam Witwer, who voices Maul, who's phenomenal performance.
Yes,
Sam Witwer is amazing. He's amazing. But he talked about how like this version of Maul is quite different. You know, like he says it's played like a very sincere kind of Maul, and I never know exactly what he meant by that until now I see it. But when I first saw it, no, like the way he even voices Maul this time around, and how he's hunched over with the cane in the hood. Very like anti-Yoda Empire Strikes Back in a way. But it's like I saw it, it's like, wow, he appears very frail.
Right.
Very like helpless. But in the back of my mind I'm thinking, okay, of course he's doing something. You know, it's obviously he's got a plan. But I couldn't tell honestly is he sincerely this frail now? Or is he like at the moment I was like, this is a little weird. Like,
yeah,
it sounds like he's legitimately weakened over the years, and this is like his state, very much like a Yoda. Yet he's still probably powerful.
Yeah, because we don't really know. I don't think it's been canonized either. The lifespan of a Dathomirian, right? So
no,
we don't know if he can live 100 years or so. You know, because he would be. I mean, you're talking this. I mean, this is 15 years after the Clone Wars.
60. At least,
you think so?
Like if he's like maybe let's say 20, I don't know, 20 in episode
1, right?
30, 33, about 50, early 50s, right?
30. Where are you getting 33? So this is
3 years. Episode 3, he would be 33 because 10 years after 1.
Oh, correct.
Plus 3,
yes.
And then 19 plus that is like 52.
Yeah. So yeah, he'd be close to 50. Right,
maybe more than that if Ray Park's age,
Well, yeah.
If he was 30 by the time episode 1 came out.
So yeah, so you got to assume that they live a little longer, I guess.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't look that much younger.
That
much older.
He's definitely aged well, if at all.
Well, plus he's got fake legs, so it's like his legs are never going to get older.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, so I was, but as they started going on. Mm-hmm. My first inclination is I was like, this is going to be the end of Darth Maul. Like, this is going to be the end of Maul.
You would think it, yeah. I mean, you think it would.
And I, you know, who I thought was going to kill him was Vader.
I was so hoping that, and I read some like interviews of like Filoni saying like, we talked about like, oh well, you got to have Vader and Maul fight. That's like the ultimate fanboy.
Oh my gosh!
Thing. And they're like, well, okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Because we have to make it, obviously fit the story. You can't just throw these two guys together because it's cool. And there's other parts where, like, Filoni's talking about how he wants to do all these things because he feels like Palpatine, where he has so much power now, where he can like canonize and throw in all these really cool moments. But the Maul Vader fight, he said, just didn't fit. Which I feel like you can make it fit.
You can make it fit because when he went up he set Ezra up by himself. I was thinking, God, if he went with him. That's what made me stop thinking about that, because if he was with them, then I thought
he would have to.
He had to face him.
Maybe he didn't think he could beat him.
But he knows who, and he mentioned how he knows who Vader is.
He knows Vader. He may not know. I guess I would assume he knows Anakin. Maybe.
Well, I'm not sure he knows that that's Anakin.
Yeah. Well, I think he knows Vader.
But he knows what Vader. Yes, he's
apprentice,
because I don't know if you heard, but
in early script,
yeah, that he said. There was a question of who is Vader? Do you know who Vader is? And he's like, Vader is who I should have been.
Yeah.
Like, so he knows that he's the Sith apprentice to Sidious.
Yeah, and I love that that's still a thing of Maul. Like, he wanted to be accepted by the Emperor this whole time.
Yeah.
Like, where Vader's like, he kind of wants to be accepted, but he also wants to get rid of the Emperor. Mm-hmm. Maul really, like, wants to be appreciated and to be like the son of the Emperor, basically. So very cool piece of his character that I love.
So as we go on with this too, we are introduced to a third Inquisitor,
The eighth brother, is that his name?
the eighth brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which am I guessing that every Inquisitor is a brother?
Well, the guys are the brothers, I guess, and the girls are the
Yeah,
sisters.
sisters?
Yeah, that's just their
So,
cult name, I guess.
I guess that's, I don't know if that's the time they become an Inquisitor. Like
I
the
would
fifth,
think so.
The fifth one, and then the sixth one, and the seventh one. He's the eighth one.
Probably.
I guess.
It's easier than giving Darth this and Darth
If you
that.
see his hands, you can see he's an alien.
Yeah.
Like what species he is, and they described it in
Yeah.
Rebels Recon,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, he says he was there trying to hunting for the Shadow.
The Shadow.
Which he's looking for Darth Maul, which is interesting. Like, they all heard this legend that Darth Maul being around, so they're going to try to find him.
Which I'm guessing this has had to have happened since the end of the comic, the Son of Dathomir,
Yeah,
which
I
is around the Clone Wars still.
Yeah.
So we're talking 15 years.
Yeah.
That,
Trying to find him.
the Emperor Sidious has
Yeah.
been trying to hunt down Maul.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to even think, because that was an interesting thing that we talked about today at work a little bit was, because Maul is, I just hope, and I don't know what you think about this, I just hope Maul doesn't become that guy that you have to throw him in there because he's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I like, this was an interesting way to bring him back because, to be honest, I feel like you could have not had him in this episode and it still would have been pretty great.
Yeah.
Because the main thing was obviously Ahsoka and Vader, right?
Yeah.
Because it could have been an Inquisitor that blinded Kanan, or it could have been an Inquisitor that fought this third Inquisitor, right? Maul was kind of introduced in this again because obviously he's going to play a bigger part. But I just don't. I understand that Filoni is closing out things that he couldn't close out right with the Clone Wars. Rex, Ahsoka,
Right.
now Maul. But I just hope there is a conclusion at some point, and that he just doesn't become that guy that we got to bring him back for the fight. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense or anything.
No,
but
it does. I absolutely not like just a fan service. Like it has
Right.
to have, and then that's what they're all about. Like having a reason for this kind of stuff. I feel like for this, Maul was there for Ezra mostly.
True.
Because they could have easily, I think, thrown him, made him fight Vader, and it would be cool and all that stuff. But it didn't need to happen. So I think Filoni wants to close off his Maul's story, but the reason probably why he brought him into this is to push Ezra to his tipping point.
Yeah.
Which kind of actually happened.
Right.
That's really interesting. But I was thinking, like at the end, like, what if he became with Maul's like a recurring villain for season 3? Because he's got his own. He says like he wants the Empire to be destroyed,
Right.
for his own reasons, and most I think it's just like a temper tantrum of a rejected son kind of reason.
Yeah.
But I think that's very interesting.
But what also made me think about that too, though, was because Maul just meeting Ezra
Yeah.
and seeing the potential and feeling the potential, and obviously he tested him a couple times, right? So it made me feel like how come Vader has not sensed his power and thought, wow, maybe I can use this. I can turn this boy as an apprentice. You know what I mean?
That's
Because
true.
he had to have felt some kind of hatred and anger that
Yeah.
that the kid has because of his parents, right?
Yeah, I kind of think, I don't know if this really makes sense or not, if this is a good reason, but I think Vader honestly reserves that invitation to the ones he actually kind of cares about, honestly, that he doesn't want to kill, like Ahsoka at the end, until she rejected him, and Luke Skywalker. Like those are the only two people he's actually kind of been like, we could be allies, we should work together.
Right.
So I don't know if that's just like Ezra is just another young Jedi that he's been killing dozens of these guys over the past 15 years. So this is just another one that he has to get rid of.
Right.
So I mean, for me, I guess that makes sense for me, but I don't know if that's necessarily the best explanation. But that's a good point. I definitely, it seems like, because from what we know in the movies, he's always like, you must be turned. He could be turned to be a good ally. We have to, and we can overthrow the Emperor or whatever. But
because it's clearly illustrated in the movies how how they sense power.
Yeah,
and they
absolutely.
they can sense the force sensitive people and stuff like that. So
that's very interesting. Or even like talking that way to Kanan or whatever. Maybe
because I can feel like maybe when we saw in the season opener when Vader shows up and is like just handling Kanan and handling Ezra, I can see where he thought, well, these guys ain't powerful, but it's almost been a while.
Yes, they got in power.
Ezra's grown in power, and so anyway. So as we move on, by far there's obviously so many great shots,
lightsaber
battles.
Like when they first walk out of the temple, the door opens up and it reveals that, and then you cut to close up of Maul. Like how exciting!
Yes.
it's just. Oh.
So at this point, we haven't even seen Maul fight yet.
No, yeah. Then he decloaks and he always decloak, but he pulls out his lightsaber from the staff. Because I was wondering, like, where the whole time, like, where's his lightsaber?
Double lightsaber,
yeah, and then it's just that's just a cool fight. And like, I love this how they animate the lightsabers, that thin, really sword like, which is like the originals. It's just incredibly epic, and there's so much red in that. But it's awesome. It's awesome.
It's incredible. So much. Some great fighting. They face off against the Inquisitors several times in this thing.
They kept flying away with their little helicopter lightsabers. Did that get on your nerves a little bit?
It did get on my nerves, to be honest, because
they did it so much.
They did it every time.
Let's get out of here.
And I'm just thinking, like, because we'd never seen that before.
No.
I was like, what?
Wouldn't you use that more before? I don't know. I was trying to think too, like the science behind it, because like a helicopter, the propellers have to be bent and like
correct.
Flat, and, like,
I was thinking, how is that happening?
They just take off with the lightsabers. That's so weird, but hey, it's Star Wars. And
I guess
it's in the script.
Maybe there's some. Maybe there's some.
They propel themselves up.
Engines in the
some like repulsor, like
I guess
pushing down.
I don't know.
It was bizarre, yeah, but it's whatever. It's fine. As soon as they just fly away, come back.
Now, the one I think does one of them survive? One of them survives, right? Or they all
die?
They all three die
because Maul kills Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yes,
unfortunately, I loved her character. I love Sarah. She was also a fantastic casting for that role. He also kills the fifth brother, right?
Yeah.
Fifth brother, and Kanan breaks the lightsaber of the eighth brother.
Oh, then he falls.
He flies,
that's right,
it breaks, and he just falls to his death.
Yes.
You get that wide shot, he just screams as he's falling down.
So all the Inquisitors are gone.
So dark. And like what was also very edgy, honest for me at least, for this type of show, when Maul killed the fifth brother, you saw like that blood smoke come up just like when Maul was sliced in half.
That's right.
Like that was pretty violent for this kind of show.
Yeah.
Like this is a dark show. I don't like I would be hesitant to play this for like a 5 or 6 year old.
Yeah, my daughter last night, who was watching it with me.
Was she?
Well, she ended up having nightmares last night. And I asked her, I said, did you dream like of Vader or Maul? She's like, no. And I was like, she just, it was awesome. Actually, real side note, because we're sitting at the dinner table talking about it, because I said, so, last night when you woke up from a bad dream, was it Star Wars? Was it Maul? Was it Vader? She goes, no. But that was pretty awesome.
Well, there you go. Okay, there you go.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's good.
She didn't even watch it all the way to the end. She didn't even see the Vader Ahsoka thing. By that time, she kind of left, and I'm gonna try to rewatch it with her. But anyway, so we get through the Inquisitors. Now, at this point, Maul, obviously, like you just said, helps him. Mm-hmm. So then the turn happens. Yeah. And you kind of feel hear his
my apprentice
true intentions, correct? Because at this point, Ezra's so we had to backtrack a little bit. Maul basically uses Ezra to get the Sith holocron.
Yeah.
Which is like very Indiana Jones type.
It was, I was getting a lot of like Aladdin.
Oh yeah, exactly.
In the cave and like cave starts falling and grab the thing. Yeah, but very Indiana Jones, very that adventure kind of feel. Which again, it's like a lot of like.
Well, as soon as you like take it, something happens.
Yeah, It's like it's like a very all these adventure things that we've seen like Empire or just like Indiana Jones, but like turned opposite. So like it's because it's very evil in its nature. So it's just it was a crazy kind of situation to be put in as an audience, but very cool. Like in the whole time, Maul's giving Ezra these little like Sith kind of like teachings. You must learn the knowledge of your enemy as well as use their ability to defeat them, whatever. And Ezra's like, I don't know about that. And it was such a cool little back and forth there, like just twisting Ezra a little bit.
But I thought it was really cool how the Sith temples were basically and this is where it kind of confused me just a tad because, well, not necessarily. I mean, there's always been a master and apprentice, but I'm assuming that temple was there when that battle happened.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it seems like the temples, at least that one that we've seen, was built like Maul said, that you have to have two.
No more, no
less, right? So, but that rule of two probably wasn't created until after that war.
Yeah. I wonder if
right,
if that was a thought bomb, if they are following that, then Bane would have created that. So, but I don't know if Maul. I think Maul was just kind of saying that, honestly,
maybe
because there's two lifts, aren't there? Did he say that there's
another lift? Yeah.
So I mean, more,
but only two can be on it
at one time. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless he's just saying that too. Who knows?
Yeah, I think maybe he kind of.
But the way they got in, you had to.
Absolutely.
One had to lift, and one had to lift the other, and which was pretty impressive. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they get the holocron, and then as we said, as Maul and them were fighting the Inquisitors, Ezra's heading up to the top to activate this temple.
Yeah, and they kind of reveal what the temple actually serves as in a way. Like Maul calls it a battle station.
It is. It's like a weapon.
Yeah, which I don't know how it is. We haven't figured, almost like a Death Star type of thing. It seems like because it has like that big beam or whatever. So,
but he deceives Ezra in saying that it's just for knowledge.
Yeah,
like go plug it in and get the knowledge.
But knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. Correct.
You gain the power of the battle station, so you basically gain the knowledge, which is all Sith. Knowledge is power.
Now, how did you react when Maul attacked Kanan?
I mean, I felt like it was going to happen, but like I didn't know that was going to happen to Kanan.
Yes.
I didn't know he was going to get blinded.
Fully blind. Like he's blind.
Yeah, he's done. He's basically Daredevil. He's using his hearing now, which hearing Pablo Hidalgo talk about how he actually will be okay, honestly, because he can still use the Force and to see.
Sure.
That makes sense. But still, like it scared me. Like,
now what was the first thing that you thought of though? You had to have thought.
I thought he was going to die. I mean, I thought he might have died. Oh, who I thought he was like.
Yes.
Like getting shot. Wait, what part are you talking about? Like right when he got hit in the eyes?
Force Unleashed.
Coda.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I was thinking like, oh, maybe he's like a General Coda kind of thing. No,
I feel like that's kind of where we're going almost. Like they borrowed that storyline and
no, yeah, I caught that. Because I was trying to think like how it could maybe tie into the Force Unleashed, but
because it was funny because it was the Force. It was Malek, right? That blinded Coda.
Did he? It's been a while since I played those games.
Yeah, because he wasn't blind when you fight him in the first one.
Okay.
And then I think it's the later in the storyline.
Yeah, he goes back
to him and he's blinded. Because
Yeah.
I thought that's Sam Witwer.
Yeah. Who blinds him?
Who blinds him?
Gotcha.
And then that's Maul.
Yeah.
Sam Witwer blinding Kanan. I thought that was a pretty cool take.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That's kind of.
But just seeing when later on when you had the bandage on there,
for a while I was just freaking out at that point because when he first turned around, he had like the thing like a Lobot type of thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my gosh, it's Lobot. It's not Lobot. No, it's Kanan. So I was really just emotional at that point. I didn't know what to think. I was guessing everything, but that was pretty cool. Like,
Coda popped in my head, but then I honestly started thinking like, okay, wait a minute. Do we know any other blind characters that have been canon, in the movies or something like that? But I couldn't think of anybody. So
I don't think so.
But I thought that was
in the games. There's some in the games, but
But I thought that was phenomenal. That he picks up that helmet or that mask.
I was wondering like if something's gonna happen. Like, is it gonna get the mask and like something else? Like, because it was very like they focused a lot on like the actual act of him putting on the mask, but. Was that like a Jedi guard mask, or was that
it was a temple mask.
Yeah,
guard. So there was one of them there.
Yeah, it's almost like a rite of passage in a way, kind of thing. I don't know. Like he's now because he already is a Jedi Knight now.
Yeah,
so it's just another kind of one of those cool moments for him, I guess. I don't know, but it was. I mean, they found excuse me, they found the crossguard saber right early on too, and that which was pretty interesting.
Yeah, and I'm confused about that.
I think they just threw that in, honestly.
Yeah, I think they did, and because I'm guessing that because that just makes I don't know, that makes Kylo Ren's because the theory about his is that it's because it's a cracked kyber crystal.
That's why it's shaky. Yeah, but I'm sure maybe at one point it was working fine, unless he found a cracked kyber crystal.
Yeah, but I thought I thought in the dictionary it says that it's cracked, and that's what causes it to spread out.
No, I think it's
that's what causes it to flare out.
no. I don't think that's why it's cracked. I don't think it does that because it's cracked. I think that's just why it's fizzy. It's really weird looking. Just
Well, it's unstable. that
unstable
says, but-
because it's cracked. I think there's the design of the lightsaber. It's just why it does that. It's like the way that the
I'm going to have to read that again because I
mirrors-
could have swore I
Yeah.
read. No, do I have that book? Yeah, it's
Yeah, you got it,
the Force Awakens
Yeah,
one.
over there.
I might have to look
But
it up.
no, I was like, that was a cool little fight there too. Like he was like, how did that end?
Which one?
Kanan.
It's really quick. Like he
Yeah.
blocks, and kicks him off the ledge.
Yeah, he just
Because right there, you're
that's
like,
right, that's right.
okay, well he's not dead.
he kicks Maul off the ledge.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like 3 blocks, and then
Yeah.
I think he force pushes him
Yeah.
off or something like that. Because at that point, he had Ahsoka. He's sent Ahsoka to go after Ezra. So he's up. Ezra gets. So obviously when he plugs the holocron in, starts going off, and it becomes a battle station or whatever. But then the thing everybody's been waiting for, Vader, shows up,
yeah.
and
He comes in with style, dude.
oh man,
Riding
yeah,
on
that's
top of his
awesome.
TIE
Oh
fighter.
god, it's so awesome. Little fighting going on there with
Yeah.
Ezra, but then
And he
obviously
just kinda,
it comes to the main. He has to build another lightsaber.
Yeah.
because it's done.
yeah.
But then it comes to the point where we've been waiting for this whole season.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how they can do that, how they can hint at something this whole time, and it just takes so long to get there. I remember they did that the last season, which was season 5, because they shown it briefly early on where they had the Emperor. Remember, it had Sidious fighting Maul and Savage, Savage.
Savage, yeah.
And it's like, oh my god, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
And it's in last episode. It's just like this now. So, okay, so we got Vader versus Ahsoka,
Yeah.
and
To talk a little bit first, and and like Vader says, it's been foretold that you would come to me or something like that, and
foreseen maybe or something like that. Yeah,
maybe just the Emperor maybe said something, or he did, I don't know, but yeah, like he says, like we mustn't be adversaries. The Emperor would probably give you grace if you tell me where the Jedi are and all that stuff, and yeah, it was. I mean,
now Ahsoka's obviously holding her own.
yeah,
I mean,
she beats him basically in a way. She kind of beats him.
It kind of
She
beats
didn't
him.
hold mercy. Basically, she was a little evil. She would have killed him, but she. Yeah, it's such a cool thing where she's like taking revenge on the death of Anakin Skywalker, which also they reference
That
Anakin
is
Skywalker right in front of Ezra. I mean, he doesn't know he knows who Anakin Skywalker is.
That's true.
He should know Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader now.
He should.
You know.
Well, was he right there? I guess when they're talking.
They talked twice. They talked there where Ezra was literally right behind Vader, like watching them two talk. Because after they go off, he says, "I need more training."
Oh
And then
yeah, true.
Then he sees Kanan, and the second time, him and Kanan are about to get on the Phantom, and he sees as the
Things
pyramids closing, they see them talk in the distance. But this part, no, he's right there behind him. 'Cause I was looking for that because I was like, I wonder if he knows who he is. And she says, I'm taking revenge on Anakin Skywalker, and he says, revenge isn't the Jedi way. And she's like, well, I'm not a Jedi.
Yes.
It's just it's cool. It's really quite epic, and it's just. I don't know. Like I think it's just amazing what Filoni has created. Like truly, like second to George Lucas.
Yeah.
He's created years of stories with these. Well, Lucas created a lot of the Clone Wars stories. I guess Lucas created Ahsoka Tano probably. I
Yes.
guess. And but like this character that we've fallen in love with, which I didn't think I was going to like Ahsoka when I first met her way back when. Loved her. She went away. Now she's back, and that this is such a crazy end maybe to her story,
Maybe.
and it's like the relationship between Ahsoka and Anakin Skywalker is, it's such a meaty relationship that rivals Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Yeah. Again, as we've said, I think we've definitely said this several times with new movies coming out, new books. This episode with Vader. I mean, I'm not sure how many people out there, like I said, Chad, I mean, just think about when he walks on the Tantive 4 in episode 4.
Yeah.
How much more about this character.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a huge point in his life.
Yeah.
I mean, he's facing...
He almost died.
Well, and not just that, but he's facing an apprentice that you never knew he had.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Watching 4, 5, and 6, and even 1, 2, and 3. Mm-hmm. Once the movies were done, I mean, you just never thought he ever had anybody like this. You know what I mean? Like, so to have Ahsoka through the Clone Wars, the way that it ended, with her walking away from the Order. Now, obviously, there's some story there that we don't know because she had seen him right before episode 3. Mm-hmm. So there's story still there that we don't even know. But obviously, it doesn't seem like when episode 3 started, he hasn't seen her since. Mm-hmm. So we're talking 15 or so years. I mean, this battle, which I don't think is the last, because, I don't know, but let's speculate here in a second. But I thought the part where she slices his helmet,
yes,
and you can see his eye,
his evil eye, but also his eyebrow.
That I was a little weirded out too, because that shouldn't have been there.
Shouldn't have been there.
Right?
Yeah. They've talked about, or Pablo Hidalgo sent out a tweet about joking around about the eyebrows. Like, I'm going to try to find this because it was a pretty funny little tweet there. But yeah, I mean, they shouldn't be they were burnt off in episode 3, right? Did they?
I mean,
animate
everything
them out?
was.
Did they actually animate no eyebrows?
In episode 3, he didn't. I don't think he had eyebrows. I mean, when he's on, I actually got the movie.
Yeah, I got to pull up my iPad here. Let's see, Pablo.
Because obviously in episode 4, episode 6, I'm sorry, they eventually digitally removed them because they were there.
Yeah.
But then the special editions and all that obviously removed his eyebrows, thinking, okay, there's no way he has eyebrows. They were scorched off. Mm-hmm. Now, so the way you would know
he tweets a lot.
He does?
Yeah.
So the way you would know is he's on the operating table in episode 3, right? Is that how we would know if they got removed or not, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to bring that up here in a little bit. There's a shot of him here. Let's see.
Where is it? Sorry.
What are you looking at?
I'm trying to find this tweet where he actually tweets about the eyebrows, but it's like almost like he doesn't really care about it. Well, he does one tweet where he quotes Darth Sidious, but misquotes Darth Sidious, where he says, to grow back eyebrows is a power only one has achieved. But if we work together, I know we can discover the secret. So he jokes about it there. And then there's another one. According to the doctrine of Darth Bane, Vader's eyebrows follow the rule of 2. He knows that everybody's mad about it. I just don't understand why they would throw it in there to screw with everything.
Yeah, that should not be. Yeah, because so
sometimes I get Pablo Hidalgo just whatever. He doesn't really care about all.
So he doesn't have eyebrows there, right? But does he have some there?
Maybe.
Or is that Brew? What is that? It looks like he has some hair still there. Does he have some hair still there?
It's a darkened area, so it looks like there's some eyebrow there. But his face definitely looks more burnt there than it does in this shot.
Correct. So that doesn't even look like it's that scarred.
No. Yeah.
It does not even. Yeah, because I noticed that. I was like, It actually doesn't look like that much scarred.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like they showed that half of his face because I thought the other half was the scarred face, scarred side.
Well, it is majority there, but there's some there.
Maybe it's just blood or something. And cleaned him up. I mean, he could have healed his face a bit. I mean, I'm sure that's fine. I mean, a little bit of healing there. But yeah, the eyebrows, that was,
Yeah, I mean, he's as healed as he could be in episode 6, you know, by the time.
Yeah.
But, and maybe, I don't know.
No, it's definitely an eyebrow there. But nonetheless, though, it's epic. It's awesome. I mean, and you start to hear Matt Lanter's voice.
Yes.
He says Ahsoka. He calls her by name. And Ahsoka. Well, he says something else to her, I think. Or Ahsoka says to him, though, "I'm not going to leave you." Or he says, "Anakin, like I won't leave you, not this time, or whatever, not again." And he's like, "You'll die."
You'll die.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm just
like that. Like because to hear his voice, that's what. I didn't expect that.
I didn't expect that either.
Like to hear Matt Lanter's voice say that to Ahsoka that was pretty gut wrenching there. Like Vader's fallen this far because really like that's for me that's what the saga is. So at least the first 6 now it's Anakin Skywalker's story. It's like the tragic. He's a tragic hero where like a Shakespearean tragic hero where he just rise and fall and like he falls and it's just.
And he gets redeemed.
Awful. Yeah, it's but
crazy. There's so much story in between from 3 to 4 that is. It really it just adds to the depth of the character.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which a lot of people, were shying away from for a long time. They're like, I don't want to know his history. I'm like, what do you mean? There's a struggle there, and I think it makes. And I kind of argued this, like I argued this with Chad a little bit too, because he was like, because I said the same thing about Maul. I was like, you can't, you can't just throw him in there because it's got to be reasons. There's got to be story. And he's like, well, they're probably going to make, because of the popularity, they're probably going to make a Boba Fett movie. And I was like, you know what? I don't think they will. And I don't think Boba Fett is that guy that has his own story because you know where he comes from already and the reason he's around. I mean, there's some point maybe you can have a story around him maybe early on.
Yeah,
but when he's a bounty hunter, I mean, he's just a bounty hunter.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? There's he's cool and he does what he's paid to do, and but what is his? Where is his love and where is his?
He's not trying to achieve
where is his arc? You know what I mean? It's just so. I mean, I love Boba Fett, but it's like, how do you make a movie around him? Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I think it'd be very difficult. That even though the character would be fun to watch, it's just unless you put some kind of tragic story in there around. I don't know. You just got to be some lows with the highs and stuff like that. But anyway, Vader. I mean, this is to see him just basically face Anakin's past. I mean, that's what he's doing, right? He's facing Anakin's past so many times because just like Luke, right? I'm acknowledging the fact that you were once Anakin Skywalker, my father. He's like, that name does not pertain. I mean, it's like these people still keep thinking he's Anakin, and that he can, but he's trying to tell everybody that guy is dead, right? Yeah. But in the end, there was still Anakin there, and it took all these years. I mean, that's just amazing, right? I mean, that's just amazing.
Literally about to see his child die, his own child,
right?
His connection to Padme, his connection to it's.
But it's good to know too that the thought of Padme dying is kind of replaced now with this apprentice that he cared deeply about, and it was heart-wrenching for him when she left, to still be alive and still be the last almost the last remnant of Anakin Skywalker that he has to destroy. I mean, it's just, oh man, it's just incredible.
Do you kind of wish that Ahsoka might have like referenced Padme. What if she said like, what would Padme think?
Yeah,
or something like that,
or even Obi-Wan or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. What would they
I
think?
wonder if Obi-Wan. I guess Obi-Wan knows she's still around. I guess, right?
Maybe.
Maybe not. I don't know. Okay, so the way it ended, it seemed like every door to me was is still open.
Yeah. Why? I mean, why wouldn't they, for sure, show that Ahsoka's dead? Like even that like shot here. I mean, obviously they didn't go any closer, but they're zooming in as she's falling down. It seems like.
No, I don't think she's falling
Like, to her
down. I think
knees,
she's
she's walking
walking into the cave. I rewound it a couple times. It looks like she's walking in
because the
and
shadow
going down.
goes away. Like she goes into the darkness.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think the way I saw that as is, the explosion happened, and they kind of both got separated as they're fighting. And Vader's like walking out, struggling to walk out, and she kind of went down into the caves. And I don't know what that means though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. Does that mean she accepted defeat or something like that? Or she's going into hiding because Kanan and Ezra obviously assume that maybe she's dead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the look that they gave Rex at the end.
Right. So I think she's still alive without us seeing. Because I truly thought we were going to see Vader strike her down.
Yeah, I mean that's just
That's what everybody thought.
a fitting
right?
end. I feel like.
But I think they're leaving it open. We see Maul took Vader's tie advance
Yeah, that
and
was hilarious.
flew
It's
away.
like, how's he gonna get back up? Is he gonna press a button on his box there and someone will come get him?
Yeah, exactly.
How's he gonna do that?
And then, of course, Kanan being blind and coming back. And I think that's going to have effect on the Rebels. Mm-hmm. So where do you think this goes for season 3?
Gosh, man, Freddie Prinze Jr. talks about kind of what the season's going to become. It's like almost like a recovery from being beaten down from the Empire so much. But no, I think we're going to still see a lot of them struggling, at least for the first half, maybe with the season, because Kanan's blind, so that unless we come in season 3 and he's already like okay, he has no struggle with his blindness because he can use the Force still, or we see that struggle of him being blind in this 3rd season. I mean, I don't know how Ahsoka would come back because they're not going to be looking for her. I don't think, because they think she's dead. Maul might come back as a villain and just kind of be like his own reign of terror across the whole galaxy. But that's kind of like, mimicking what happened in Clone Wars already, so I don't know if they're going to rehash that storyline. But it's going to be a lot of Ezra. I mean, Ezra's touch with the dark side, because he definitely was in some of the dark side at the very end. He opened the holocron, and his eyes and the kind of his face there at the end kind of shows that because he had to think, because Maul even said you have to think like a Sith, at least, to open the holocron. So he did that. He's once it's what was Yoda say? Once you go down the path forever, it'll.
Once you start down the dark path forever, will it dominate your destiny?
So he's there. I mean, it's going to be messing with him now for a lot of season 3, I think.
Yeah, I feel like it's inevitable that he's going to somehow turn, or
I don't know if he'll become like a bad guy. He may just kind of have his own little.
I feel like he's almost going to become a threat.
A little bit of a threat, yeah.
But I don't know I don't know what that means. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to keep bringing Inquisitors, because Inquisitors now are
that's the only ones out there, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
but now they're kind of just like,
unless at some point,
all right, here's another Inquisitor. That
yeah.
we gotta take down.
Unless Sidious starts feeling like Vader, you just need to do it. You just need to go after him. Instead of sending these guys to get killed.
Once we get some bounty hunter action.
See, that's where I think we're going. Yeah. So to wrap this up, really, I feel like at the end of Rebels Recon, Filoni's sitting there talking about how there's something that they've wanted to do, and they found a way to pull it off. It's something. All he says is there's something Star Wars fans that'll go crazy for, and he's going to talk in depth about it specifically at Star Wars Celebration in July. in Europe. So we got to wait till then. Yeah. But what I think he's referencing, I think it's one of two things. I think it's either the first thing I really think it is I think it's a reference to probably Boba Fett and bringing the bounty hunters in. Because I agree with you. I think the Inquisitors aren't working. See, the thing about that I thought would happen, which I didn't. See, Vader, unless he figures it out, but Vader doesn't know Maul was there, right? Because there's no Inquisitor that can tell him that they're dead.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know that the shadow, I guess, Sidious's been looking for is there.
Well, they told him about us because that's why he came to Malachor. Because Maul even said,
"No, I thought the Inquisitors."
Because they left for a while.
Okay, that's right. They could have told him. They could have told him that, hey, the Shadow's here and the Rebels are here.
Because Maul even says like Vader will be here.
But does he even know that the Shadow is Darth Maul?
That's the legend, I guess. Right?
Maybe. I don't know. Okay, so
I'll have to listen to that part again. Cause,
so either way, I think what I'm kind of getting at is that I think he's going to realize, Vader has got to realize that, okay, the Rebels are a bigger threat than I thought, and that now that Maul is out there, what can we get? I need to get bounty hunters in here or something like that. I need to get warriors in here. So I do think that could be what he's talking about. So we could see a full-fledged Boba Fett on this show, which I totally... And that's how kind of I think maybe that ties into Rebel or Rogue One because of the bounty hunters, right? The only other thing I can think of is somehow bringing Obi-Wan back in because we saw him at the very beginning, Spark of Rebellion. I feel like somehow they're leaning towards Obi-Wan, but you can't have Obi-Wan and Vader.
They can't see each other.
They can't see each other.
Yeah.
So that's where, or maybe Obi-Wan comes in to train, to help train Ezra now because Kanan's blind or something like that. I don't know. So I kind of lean towards that maybe. I don't know. I don't know what you thought of it.
Well, hearing Boba Fett theory, I think that's a very likely choice because
also we see that relationship in the comic too.
Yeah,
that he kind of leans on him every time now that there's an issue.
And we've talked about how just like this episode where Filoni likes to try to finish his Clone Wars stories, and he had a story of Boba Fett that he wanted to tell.
That's right.
So this could be.
So that's another character he wants to. Yeah, it was that Cad Bane Boba Fett storyline.
He might still have. God,
that was awesome.
He might have Cad Bane in
Cad Bane, I think, totally could show up in this easily.
He might do several of those.
That's right.
So I think that's very likely. We might see Dengar, Forlom. We might see all six of those guys together. IG-88. Like that'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
What if this is the first? If this is the source of the no disintegrations?
Yes.
What if that happens in season 3? What if he disintegrates Ahsoka or it disintegrates Ezra or Kanan or something?
Man. Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool.
Totally.
And see like Sabine fight Boba Fett would be kind of cool.
That would be.
That'd be a good fight.
Yep. That would be awesome.
Pretty cool.
So
very cool.
I mean, I don't know what else to say. But that. I think that's everything I kind of wanted to hit on.
Well, there's one thing too, because season 3 of Rebels will start, and it'll go through the release of Rogue One.
Rogue One will come between the seasons.
Because Pablo Hidalgo said that season 3 we'll see a lot of the rebellion of how we see the rebellion in episode 4. So everything I think is going to get just on a bigger scale, as it should, as a show. The rebellion will start to form more. We might even get a rebellion symbol, official rebellion symbol in season 3. So he was saying how we'll see more of the actual rebellion as we will see in episode 4, and he says as we will see in Rogue One. So he references Rogue One, but I'm thinking like, what if it somehow ties into Rogue One? I don't know, almost like
I think it could because
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of does for.
Yeah, did you hear that? And I can't remember exactly where I saw this, but that Rogue One is rumored to actually take place around a year before episode 4.
I mean, that's kind of what I thought would be the case.
See, I didn't think that
could be that close.
I thought it had to be closer because if it's the Death Star plans, what do they hang on? Are they running around the plans for a year before Leia gets them?
Well, it depends on how long the movie takes place, I guess. I mean, this isn't your typical Star Wars movie. So they may not go that standard,
Well,
like this takes place across 3 or 4 days.
That's true. That's true. But I feel like,
Yeah, I get what you're saying, though.
I mean, it might like 3 to 4 months makes
Yeah.
more sense.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
a year, that's because, or the only thing I can think of is maybe this was the first attempt
That's what I kind
or
of
the
thought.
discovery of the Death Star.
Yeah.
So like they're figuring out what they need to do.
Yeah.
And maybe they know that they have to get the plans, and maybe this is the first attempt, and then maybe they don't even get it, and then later on, I don't know, or maybe they do get it, and they got to figure out a way of who to get it to, and maybe it does take that long to fall finally in the hands of Leia to go get Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll know more as soon as a trailer is released,
Gosh, yeah.
which should be in front of Civil War, is what we keep hearing.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was by far. I just can't. In fact, the way we're talking about it, I just want to go back and watch it again because, this has by far just been, I don't know, just unbelievable. Like you said, from top to bottom, just an unbelievable story.
Yeah.
And I suggest anybody out there, obviously everybody that's listening to us right now, you're already a Star Wars fan, but just I can't push enough that get any other Star Wars fans that don't, because I know Star Wars fans that don't watch Rebels.
Yeah, I mentioned it to my my good friend Adam Warren. He's watched some Clone Wars. He likes it. I don't think he just found the time to watch the rest of it. But I told him, like, man, you gotta catch up or whatever, because this is one of the best things I've ever seen in Star Wars.
I told a guy I work with who's a huge Star Wars fan that hasn't seen a single episode of Rebels, hasn't seen a single episode of Clone Wars. And I told him you gotta start. And I because of this episode, I even said, look, just don't even worry about Clone Wars right now. Watch Rebels just so you can get to this episode. Now, he may not understand the whole Ahsoka thing, but that's too much. That's too many episodes now.
Yeah, maybe if anything, season 5 of Clone Wars.
Yeah, or just read about Ahsoka. That's it. Just find out who Ahsoka is and then just watch this thing. So, but yeah, because there's so much with Maul and Ahsoka and all that stuff. But man, this truly is one of the many reasons why this Star Wars is so awesome. I mean, there's so much to talk about and so much to learn from it. It's just ridiculous how good this is. So yeah, kudos to Filoni and that whole team, and a great season 2. We got some great moments out of this this season, and I don't know, just the fact when this thing whole started, it's like, God, when will we ever see Vader? And not only do we see Vader, but just to see Vader and Ahsoka, I mean, it's like, God, this is unbelievable. All right, so I don't know. Final thoughts on it.
The season definitely took a turn in the second half after we saw that kind of sizzle reel, but it's paid off. It was just a phenomenal season. I mean, it rivals many of the Clone Wars seasons as well.
Yeah,
definitely it rivals some of the movies as well. It's just. It was just incredible. Yeah, I don't normally go back and rewatch many of the episodes. I don't think I really have much at all. This is an episode I would definitely go back and probably see a lot throughout my life. I'll go back every now and then to watch it because it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I watched Spark of Rebellion several times. The very first episode, just because the season didn't start for a while,
right?
And then I watched this premiere of season 2 several times with Vader. So.
It was awesome.
But you're right. I haven't actually gone back and watched a lot of the episodes, but yeah, this one is just. I'm telling you, this is up there with the movies, man. I mean, this is something I would put up there as far as story and just everything that went through on with it. So, all right, so that's it. This episode dedicated to. Season finale of Rebels season 2. Don't have a start date obviously for season 3 yet. Those of you that need to go see more, really go check out Rebels Recon on this because it's a long one. It's like 11 or 12-minute episode of Rebels Recon that really dives into all the actors talking about recapping season 2 a little bit and recapping in this episode, and then of course Filoni kind of dropping those hints at what's to come. So go check that out on the Star Wars YouTube channel. Just a quick update on that Madness.
This is Madness.
Yeah. So Vader is in the Final Four and Luke is in the Final Four. Right now it's between Yoda and Rey and Kylo Ren and Boba Fett. Kylo Ren's leading and Rey's leading. And that's the Final Four I actually picked.
I wouldn't be surprised again if Rey wins.
But I think this is Luke's year.
Luke.
I think this is Jedi Luke. I think he's going to win. Because Jedi Luke would be going against Rey. Kylo Ren's going to be going against Vader, which is pretty cool. Yeah. I think it's going to be Vader and Luke. And I think Luke's going to win it this year. Because it's interesting. I like how they do that. Where like in the previous ones, it was always like a New Hope Luke, and he always got beat. That's why I think that since it's Jedi Luke, I think he's going to win. So
it's powerful.
Because like Obi-Wan's been in it every year, but it's always been Alec Guinness Obi-Wan, and the one he did win, he was Ewan McGregor, young Obi-Wan. So anyway, go vote for that. I think the voting will end here soon. I think Monday's the last day to vote because that's when the championship happens. So, all right. Of course, we're Inside the Force, InsideTheForce.com. Go there and subscribe if you haven't already, or listen to all the episodes right there on the website. He is Kryptonian1138 on Twitter. I'm D Cunningham21 on Twitter. Can't wait for more Rogue One news. Now we're just kind of in limbo now until we figure out what's coming in season 3, what's coming with Rogue One, the news of episode 8, which is still shooting right now. So there is some comics, obviously, we'll talk about. There's some books coming out. They actually just announced, which we'll talk more about next week, but they actually, I think I read it, they just announced an Ahsoka Tano novel that's coming, right? So we'll dive more into that next week. Hope everyone has a great weekend as April begins.
Watch out for those Star Wars fake spoilers on April Fool's Day.
That's right.
If you listen to this on April Fool's.
I was just saying, I hate the news. I hate the internet on April 1st, to be honest, because I'm like, come on. But I will be watching The Force Awakens this weekend, for sure.
Yep.
As everybody else should. So
probably watching in special features if it comes out on the digital copy.
Actually, does it drop in 40 minutes?
Is it midnight? Oof.
It might.
I might
even put it on tonight.
Might watch it in 40 minutes.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. For Casey Cooley.
No, I actually can't remember if that's the exact quote from, but you may call me Old Master.
Yep, that's pretty good.
So I love it. I just love Sam Witwer. He needs to be in a live action Star Wars.
He does.
Come on.
He does. I think it's inevitable. He will be.
Gosh.
All right, guys. Again, thanks so much for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed the season finale as we did, and I'm sure we'll talk about things to come very soon here soon. So, for Casey,
goodbye, everybody.
I'm Dave. May the Force be with you.
This has been a production of the 21 Network. For more great podcasts, visit 21network.com. To view additional content, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/21network. Follow us on Twitter at 21network for the latest news and updates. The 21 Network, for the fan and all of us.